Hi guys, it's Olga Heldwein, and today I have for you a thread clock with SnipArt goodies. So I have this love crafting set from SnipArt, and you can see on the screen all the elements that come in the set. We have the base that says love crafting. We have separate letters, and the letter O is our clock face. You have also numbers and the mechanism. I didn't use numbers because I chose other piece to be my clock face. I used here my favorite technique for sticking especially intricate and background chipboards on the surface. First I was thinking that I want to do some masking, but then I changed my mind. I used this mesh background from SnipArt and I just dip it in the glue that it's spread on the packaging from the stencil. I spread it with credit card to have nice and even layer, and then I just dip my chipboard into the glue, so that will give you really nice coverage with sticky surface without any nasty blobs, and it will hold the chipboard really nicely. I wanted to have some texture on all of my letters, so I actually used two of those cool mesh backgrounds. I just cut them into the pieces and stick onto my letters. With letter E, I struggle a little bit because it's a weird shape, and I wanted to make sure that I have texture on each letter and that they look nice and cohesive. And I still wanted to have some open spaces between the texture. On the clock face, I use my favorite background. Actually, the original chipboard includes two pieces that you layer on each other to have really dimensional background. But I decided to go just with the intricate part of the set. I stick it on my clock face, and it doesn't matter that it doesn't cover it all. I will mask all the edges anyway. And then when everything is dry, and it's important for everything to be dry because otherwise you will get not a nice look, not a nice cut, I trim off all the excess and I sanded the edges with the sanding block. I stick all my letters back to the base, and I use clock face just to measure up the spacing between the letters because they have nice gaps between each other, so I don't stick it until the really final stage of assembling a whole piece because I will spray paint it, and I don't want to spray paint the mechanism because it might not work so well. And I filled all the space in the clock with some intricate chipboards, and the frame is MDF clock face, and you get two of them in the set in two sizes. I chose the bigger one, and if it happens that you have glue boo-boo anyway, you can clean all the nasty blobs with dry brush if you are fast, because if glue is dry then you can't do anything about it. I used a mix of different chipboards to have really nice texture all around my clock face, all around inside part of the clock face, and then I grabbed some MDF steampunky parts, screws and fasteners. and I placed them here and there on my letters. Most of them I doubled up, and I added some chipboard leftovers on letters here and there. Then with my favorite spray paint, that is Renaissance Polish brand, really nice quality, it gives you perfect coverage and nice matte finish. I spray painted all my piece and my clock face is still separate. You should put the mechanism inside the letter, you just push it gently, but it will stick out on the other side, and I wanted the back completely flat because this clock will be in SnipArt booth, and it's easier to mount elements on display when they are flat in the back. So instead of pushing my mechanism inside, I just added a little bit volume and glue it on top of my base. I got small boo-boo when I was pushing my mechanism through the hole because I didn't expand it enough when I covered it with chipboards, so I fixed it with my matte acrylic Amsterdam paint. And to add nice metallic look to my clock, I will use Tommy's clear wax Pentard metallic antiquing cream. I will mix some shiny powders from 30 knots into my wax. It's my favorite technique of gilding and waxing. And I will also use a Sparks Gold metallic paint from Finbar. It's amazing paint. I just bought it, just discovered it, and I was really amazed how good it looks. So I'm scooping a little bit of wax and covering the container because it will dry out if you don't do it. And you need just a tiny bit of wax, and you mix in mica powder. I love shiny powders. They are cheap and they look beautiful, super shiny. And the name says it all, and I mix them until they don't want to mix anymore, until they crumble, and then I know that I will get a really nice result. I started with a thin coat of Pentard antiquing cream. It works like wax, but it's not so sparkly, but it gives this little oomph. I really like the mixture of products that I use at this artwork, and I think that I need to buy more colors and explore those products a little bit more. And I'm brushing my waxes onto my project with makeup brushes. Yeah, I love makeup brushes. I use them to everything. I use them with oxides and I use them with waxes because they are super soft and they will distribute the product perfectly. Here I have a green shiny powder, it's cyan green, and in the lid I had the wax that dried out, and to activate it I used a tiniest amount of clear fresh wax. You just mix it in, and Tommy's wax, the clear wax, will activate the dried wax every time. So if you want to remove wax from some area, just use the clear one on the cloth and rub it, and it will just remove all the unwanted shininess. This is my favorite color combo, you know, golds and greens. All the colors will be in the description box. I can tell you that from shiny powders I used light gold and rusty brown, my favorite one, and cyan green. From Finbar I used this gold sparks paint, and it has such an amazing sparkle. It's metallic and a little bit glittery, just beautiful. First time using that product and I'm amazed. I get a little bit carry on with my waxing, so I lost the definition in my project. So to bring back the contrast and to add a little bit more definition, also with the same makeup brush, not the same one that I use for wax, but the same kind of brush, I applied a little bit of black paint, and I just smooth it out with wax again to have a perfect smooth transitions. And this technique, brushing wax, brushing metallic product on top of the black surface, will always give you really nice pleasant result. It's one of my favorite, one of my go-to techniques. I love the contrast, I love the definition, I love the depth that you get in your project. So when I finished with all my colors, it's time to assemble my clock. So the last step is adding the clock handles. You can use all the screws into your mechanism. I think it's unnecessary, but if you feel like it, or if you need a little bit more support, you can use them. I will add just the hanging piece at the back later on, and voila, the project is ready. I'm super happy with it. I'm always super happy with waxing projects, because look at this definition in the clock. The letter O and this clock is my favorite part. I love the dimension here. Okay, that's all for today. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something and you get inspired. Have a nice and creative day, and you will find all the links in the description box. And if you like this video, leave me a thumbs up, comment, and thank you for your attention. Have a nice and creative day, and see you soon. Bye.